Beyonce, don't get beside yourself because now you're the highest grossing black entertainer on tour. Because she just surpassed Michael Jackson. Oh, you better believe that if Michael Jackson was still alive, that bitch would still be in second place. Never felt handsome, that's for certain. And by 1981, he had a litany of personal complaints, all adding to his deep insecurity. Michael considered rhinoplasty surgery, popularly known as a nose job, as a possibility to thin out his wide nose. Since about the age of 13, he'd always been fixated on the size of his nose, and his brothers had only made matters worse with their nickname for him, Big Nose. Wide, flat noses were a Jackson family trait, inherited from Joseph. I'm lost as to why it's such a big deal that Michael Jackson, maybe because they knew that it hurt his feelings. And you know, siblings can be relentless. Not my siblings, because I'm the oldest. I will check their asses. But when I think about it, I am the only one with the big nose. But they ain't never tell me that. Fuck around with me, you won't eat for 3 days. Like I said before. You'll call Michael Big Nose, but I bet you won't call Joseph Big Nose. Michael had been threatening to have the surgery for years, but he was too afraid, actually, to go through with it. However, in the spring of 1979, he tripped during a complicated dance routine, fell on stage, and broke his nose. Fate had intervened. He had no choice. He flew back to Los Angeles and had his first rhinoplasty. Gina Sprague recalled, Joseph told me he doubted that Michael would ever have had a nose job if he didn't have to do it. That was the first. No one ever dreamed what it would lead to in the future. After the bandages came off, Michael liked what he saw. The result of the first surgery is the nose seen on the cover of Michael's Off the Wall album, one just a bit smaller than the one with which he was born. Indeed, Michael's face had been surgically transformed, confirming the notion for him that his appearance was one thing over which he could absolutely exert control if he wanted to do so. However, afterwards, Michael complained of some breathing problems and trouble singing. So pause right quick. From what I understand, that's the reason why Barbra Streisand never got a nose job. In fact, I was shocked when Lady Gaga got her nose done because it's all connected, ears, nose, and throat. So I was really shocked, but it didn't seem to affect her voice. Not to me, you know, but what do they call, what do Lady Gaga fans, groupies, stans, whatever, what do they call her? What do they call them? I forgot. Phantoms? Zombies? Is it monsters? By 1980, he had his new nose, but he was still desperately unhappy. Even at home. I'm lonely, he said. I sit in my room sometimes and cry. It's so hard to make friends, and there are some things you can't talk to your parents or family about. So I had made a video before asking the question, do I believe that Michael Jackson was intellectually stunted? And a lot of you guys were like, meh, about it. And some of y'all just came over here swinging. It's okay, because I know Beyonce's internet is full of nuts. But let me explain to you about why I believe that intellectually Michael Jackson was stunted. Because he found himself most comfortable with children or adults who he could trauma bond with. I've had therapy with my wife. I've had single, by myself therapy. And one thing that therapist told me, is that whenever a person goes through some type of traumatic event, their growth is stunted right there. Okay? They remained in that time frame of trauma the rest of their life. And I believe that Michael Jackson sought out other people who were as intellectually stunted or immature as he was. In this book, Tarabolele said that Jackie had considered Michael Jackson a man boy because of his immaturity. The notion of Michael Jackson, a world-renowned superstar walking around his Encino neighborhood in search of someone to talk to, is startling. Imagine the depth of his despair, his loneliness. He felt most comfortable with people who he can trauma bond with. Hence the reason why he hung out with Macaulay Culkin, the Webster. Who else? Tatum O'Neal. It was John Branca's suggestion that if Michael wanted to forge some independence, he might want to consider purchasing his own real estate. He was 22. Why did he have to live at home? The idea of moving away from Joseph was exhilarating for Michael, even though he didn't want to leave Catherine. Still, he thought he might try it. Therefore, in February of 1981, Michael bought a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom condominium at 5420 Lindley Avenue in Encino for $210,000. He paid $175,000 in cash. The balance, $35,000, came from Catherine. Where the fuck Catherine get $35,000 from, Michael? In exchange, Michael gave her equity in the condominium as sole and separate property, meaning she did not have to share it with Joseph as community property. It was his way of giving her a bit of freedom as well. She ain't want no freedom. If she wanted the freedom, she would have left his ass. And she didn't. Certainly, Michael didn't need her to contribute $35,000. No doubt she wanted to pay for the possibility of having her own freedom, just like her son. Now, if you can't stand him for another second, Michael said, speaking of Joseph, you can move here. It will be great. We could live here together. Imagine that. And without him. In the end, Michael could not go through with it. He couldn't move out, especially since Catherine didn't want to go either. See what I mean? Catherine ain't fooling nobody. I just don't feel it's time for me to move away from home yet, he said. If I move out, I die of loneliness. Most people who move out go to discos every night. They party every night. They invite friends over, and I don't do any of those things. In a couple of years, Michael would move into the condominium temporarily along with other family members when the Encino home was remodeled. He still owns the condominium today. It has been used as a haven for his brothers when they have had marital difficulties. In the spring of 1981, plans were being finalized for the Jacksons to embark on a 39-city concert tour of the United States to support their new album called Triumph. Michael didn't want to go. One problem he had with touring concerned the enormous amount of preparation and work involved. Then when it was over, it was over, unlike a movie or a video, which is timeless and lasting. What's so sad about the whole thing is that you don't capture the moment, he told me, of live performances. Bullshit the baker. It's videos all over the Instagrammy and the TikToky of them on stage during the Victory and Triumph tour. Look at how many great actors or entertainers have been lost to the world because they did a performance one night and that was it. With film, you capture it. It's shown all over the world and it's there forever. Okay, pause. Let me say this. Beyonce, don't get beside yourself because now you're the highest grossing black entertainer on tour. Because she just surpassed Michael Jackson. Oh, you better believe that if Michael Jackson was still alive, that bitch would still be in second place. He really had no choice, however. His family wanted him to go on the road with them. The tour was projected to gross millions of dollars for them. The record label had also insisted upon a tour. So there would be a tour. Michael just hoped that it would in some way unite the family after such difficult times at home. He was frustrated and upset, but he would force himself along. Still, some would notice a cold look on his face when with the family at rehearsals. He seemed removed from the proceedings, not involved, not interested. Before embarking on the Triumph tour, Michael underwent the second rhinoplasty surgery recommended by Dr. Stephen Hoffman. He didn't tell his family he was doing it. He just did it. He came home all black and blue and bandaged. And Catherine said, "Michael, what in the world happened to you?" She must have thought he'd been beaten up. "Did you break your nose again?" she asked. He told her he hadn't, that his doctor recommended a second operation. Then he went to his bedroom and stayed there for a week, coming down to the kitchen every now and then for some vegetables. Let me tell you what's cute. Michael Jackson got the way that he ate because remember, he had a thin frame because he ate very healthy. And a lot of people say that when they go vegan or vegetarian, that it's hard for them to keep weight on, okay? But Michael Jackson had actually saw how Jermaine ate clean, and he wanted to do that for himself, especially because of his acne issue. Even though Michael never discussed his surgery with anyone, he was crying out for help, becoming obsessed by the appearance of the man in the mirror, and a dangerous pattern was beginning to emerge. In June 1981, Michael and Quincy Jones began work on a storytelling record book of Steven Spielberg's film E.T. Michael would also be featured as vocalist on one song, Someone in the Dark, written by Alan and Marilyn Bergman. Later in the month, Michael went into the studio with Diana Ross to produce a song for her called I Want My Souls. Ooh, ooh.